In the first episode of Reacher Season 3, Persuader, Reacher travels to Maine and enters a store that sells used musical vinyl, but things quickly take a turn for the worse when the former Marine foils an attempted kidnapping of a young college student, saving the child and unintentionally shooting a police officer before running away. On the other hand, Reacher strikes up a conversation with the child, Richard Beck, played by Johnny Berchtold, and discovers that the child's father is a famous businessman who operates the rug business. Reacher doesn't want to be involved in this issue, but Richard advises him to go see his father in order to get assistance. Consequently, he brings the child to his house, where a larger-than-reach bodyguard named Paulie, played by Olivier Richters, meets him at the front gate. The audience is enough informed by the initial encounter between the two giants to know how a fight between them will play out. Reacher nevertheless meets Zachary Beck, Richard's father, who runs a large rug business called Bizarre Bazaar. They start talking, and Zachary learns that Reacher needs to start again after killing a police officer by accident. However, Zachary is a shrewd businessman who will only mentor someone if they demonstrate their loyalty. Consequently, he inserts a bullet into the gun and forces Reacher to play Russian roulette. To find out if he is saved, Zachary instructs him to aim the gun at his head and squeeze the trigger. Reacher does that to demonstrate his loyalty, but he continues after firing the gun for the first time, causing anxiety in everyone present. After removing the rifle from his grasp, Zachary informs him that he is now a member of the squad. When Zachary's head of security shoots the bullet into a metal box above the wooden counter, Reacher realizes that he could have killed himself even if he thought the bullet was empty. He thus receives housing. When he enters the room and pulls out a satellite phone that is concealed within his shoe, however, things start to get interesting. "IMIN," he says over the phone, implying that everything he has done thus far is a part of a complex scheme. But why is Reacher willing to risk everything, and what is the plan? The majority of the episode is made up of flashback scenes after the fact. As it turns out, Reacher was contacted by DA agent Susan Duffy, played by Sonia Cassidy, who thinks Zachary Beck is operating an illegal and fraudulent rug business. She now needs Reacher's assistance in order to understand Zachary's true actions. However, being Reacher, he begs Duffy for a favor and says he will only accompany her if she complies with his demands. He requests that she provide him with all the details about one of his former foes, Francis Quinn. Shortly after, Duffy and her group go to a diner and offer Reacher all the details about Quinn's fall from a cliff and how he was rescued. In the meantime, Reacher discloses that Quinn was, in fact, a former lieutenant who made extra money by selling military secrets to adversaries. In addition, he wanted to locate Zachary after seeing him in his automobile. Following the discussion, they agree to cooperate and support one another. They also talk about their goals, their methods, and the reasons behind Duffy's determination to continue this case despite being fired from it. As it happens, Duffy was on the verge of obtaining information regarding Beck's company from Teresa Daniels, an informant. But when Duffy stopped hearing from Daniels and disappeared, things took a turn for the worse. Duffy thinks they made Daniels vanish when they caught her spying on Beck. To save Richard and win Zachary's trust, the whole team gathers to devise a plan and chooses to stage a kidnapping. It was a fictitious shooting occurrence, and the officer he shot was one of their team members. He returns to the barn at night to play Russian roulette and discover a secret cellar. He finds the last slice of shepherd's pie on a dish while looking through the cellar. Reacher informs Duffy that Daniels may still be alive as the first Reacher Season 3 episode comes to a close. The opening episode of Season 3 makes it apparent that the stakes are bigger this time. The suspense is acute from the beginning due to a clandestine mission, a lethal adversary, and Reacher going underground. Every blow is more powerful, every disclosure pierces deeper, and surviving needs more than simply physical prowess. It involves constantly outwitting the adversary.